What's up, everybody? Welcome to Kind of Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, January 3rd, 2023. I'm one of your hosts, Ransom, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30, a.k.a. the future class of gaming, a.k.a. the OK Beast, Blessing Adeoye Jr.
What's up, Ransom?
And nothing much, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Me and you are dressed for very different seasons.
We have heat in the office now. So the heat is in the office now.
Hey, is this the heat?
No, it's not on yet.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Nick turns it on when he gets here because he's the dad. Mm-hmm. He walks over there and does one of these.
I also get scared in the studio of like having the heat on for too long.
I don't think the studio, needs the heat. It's out there, right? You get Limber out there, and then you come in here, and then we generate the heat. Pa, 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 pa,
What made you laugh? What was it? Was it the Fade to Black?
It was. So, on our end, Barrett, before we go live, all right, the gym's not working right now, but we don't need it. I'm like, of course not. And so it goes, he's like, all right, 3, 2, 1. And then the video played with no sound. Mm-hmm. And I was like, all right, cool. He's not stopping, so the audience hears it. And then I'm like, it seems like it's extremely long today without the sound.
Yeah.
And it just went to black rather than cut to us.
We automate everything when we have intros. The timing for it was still the holiday intro, which was much longer, so...
No, I'm not, and obviously I'm not giving you shit, Bear. It's just that thing of, it's always like waiting for the gunshot to go off at the start of a race.
Yeah.
So you don't want that misfire.
And you're on your toes. So when it was like a tad bit too long, I'm sitting here like, all right, is this going to be a redo? And it cuts to us and it's like, oh no, we're on. We're ready to go.
Yeah. It's a great way to start 2023 with a brand new episode of Games Daily. Blessing, how was your break?
Break was good. Break was really fun. I had original plans to fly to Houston to visit my sister and hang out with my sister. And didn't end up doing that because I looked at flight prices and they were off the chain.
Yeah.
And honestly, like at the end of the day, I'm glad I didn't do that because of all the flight troubles that people were going through during like that season. That I would have been.
Would you have been on Southwest?
I would not have gone Southwest. But even like my roommate, Michael Hyam, he was supposed to fly to San Diego and he did. I forget his the flight he was doing, but his flight got canceled too, and so like it was happening across different airlines. So I was like, when that was happening, I was like, all right, maybe it's a good thing that I'm not going to Houston. That said, had a really good time here, hung out with friends, had a fun Christmas, had a fun New Year's.
We had Korean barbecue together.
We did have Korean barbecue together, and let me tell you, that Korean barbecue place, Alyssa was saying that was her favorite Korean barbecue place, which I was like, what's it called, Barrett?
Han Il Kwan.
Han Il Kwan.
Okay.
And I was like, all right. We'll see about that. We're gonna see how good this place is. That place was fire.
Yeah,
that place is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
she knows her food.
Yeah. So that was fantastic. There was one day where it flooded in my neighborhood, and I showed you pictures.
Yeah.
I'd never seen anything like that. Where, thank God, me and Michael live on the top floor of our building, but like we look out our window and cars are literally like submerged in water, and I was like, I don't know, man, this seems dangerous. This seems like a pretty scary situation to be in, and that was kind of anxiety-inducing. But by the end of the day, the flooding was gone, and we were good, we were safe. But yeah, no, it was a pretty roller coaster of a break, but I had a good time.
Good,
I had a good break. What about you? How was your break?
I had a great break. Yeah, got a dog. We got Cole, the new wiener dog. Yeah, Ben's got a dog now. Had you and a bunch of people over for Christmas Eve dinner. That was a lot of fun. Jen cooked her ass off. You know what I mean? Made a whole bunch of great food. Made prime rib.
Killed it.
And then it was chilling out, hanging out with the fam. Right? It was one giant extended weekend. I did a Gregway yesterday about it, talking about it because I didn't do any Gregways during the break, pretty much. And I said I would.
I was gonna say,
I said I would, and I said I would stack them up, and I would do it. So I didn't. What happened is, there's 10 days, Monday through Friday or whatever, and so I missed the first Monday, but I did 2 on Tuesday of the Christmas week, you know what I mean? Leading into Christmas. And then, I didn't do any. And so then I just put up a 45 or 50-minute Gregway yesterday. Like, making up for it. Here's a long Gregway. But I explained it was like, an interesting thing of, Monday through Friday, I think is such an interesting balance in segmenting my day between work Greg and home Greg or whatever. And then to be home, especially for the first year where, like, Ben is a person. He's moving, he's walking, he's talking, right? He's not like last Christmas you look at photos and he's a banana slug. He just lays there, right? You could do whatever you wanted. This Christmas was like, all right, cool. Like we're taking care of him and making memories with him and doing all these things. So I didn't have the time to go record Gregways like I thought I would, in the past. Yeah.
I got to watch Ben eat spaghetti.
Yes, you did.
And that was a fantastic experience.
Sure.
That spaghetti got all over.
Yeah. Eventually gets to his face. Eventually gets to his face.
But it does get there. But the journey to get there it had a lot of detours.
Yeah. You want to know, that was by far, when you start all right, maybe we're going to have kids. We're going to get on this track, blah, blah, blah. And maybe even when I was like so anti-kids, as you knew me so long on many a podcast, right? I think it was the spaghetti meal was always one that was like,
Yeah,
no, can't do that. That's disgusting. You know what I mean? And it's still very fucking gross to me, but I power through and I let him do it.
I mean, he made that spaghetti look appetizing. Like as I watched him eat that spaghetti, I was
an insult to my wife's spaghetti.
Well, I mean, maybe Jen made it look appetizing.
Jen brought out some dog shit spaghetti, but this kid made it look good.
No, it's just, I'm not a spaghetti person. Spaghetti.
Really?
Not really. Okay. Yeah, spaghetti's not really. It's never really been my thing.
So now I want a hard stop and aside. Is it all pastas, or is it just literally like spaghetti so
He's
bland?
Anti-Italian. That's what it is.
Wow, racist.
No, because pizza is one of my favorite foods. It is most pastas.
Okay.
And again, it's not the thing where I dislike pastas. I just don't get excited for pastas.
Sure.
Like if somebody gave me a list of cuisines and we're like, hey, we're going to this restaurant, this restaurant, this restaurant, and he said like, I don't know, Italian, Japanese, like anything else, I'm probably American. I'm like, the other two. Italian isn't my go-to, which I know is probably sacrilege. But like, I'm not a spaghetti person. Seeing Ben eat the spaghetti, I was like,
I can get behind this.
I can get behind this. I might be able to go for some spaghetti.
Here's what I'll tell you: is the next time the Mill Valley Pasta Man's doing lasagnas, I'm gonna get you a lasagna. All right, and you make that because that's incredible.
Okay.
Make it the same appointment where he makes Andy his mac and cheese.
The problem with the appointment, right, is that when he makes Andy mac and cheese here, it's gonna have to be done on like a hot plate. That's not. We don't have an oven here.
Yeah.
Nick was pinching pennies left and right. He's like, "Why would an office need an oven?" I'm like, "I don't know, Nick. Why do we need 2 bathrooms?" I would have gladly sacrificed a bathroom for an oven over there.
Are you
ready to fight Joey for that?
You can use that oven,
dude. We were talking about the Kind of Funny podcast that's live right now. Like, they tried to put a shower in over there, like in one of the bathrooms, to have a shower in the bathroom, but the city wouldn't allow it or whatever. And I was like, if there was a shower here, I would use it every fucking day.
What does the city have
every fucking day?
The shower. I really want to know, like,
I don't know,
the breakdown.
You know how the zoning is about everything.
Regulations,
it's all stupid,
stuff like that.
What danger is a shower? Do you have to have a lifeguard? Like, god damn. Did you get any gifts for Christmas? Any fun stuff?
Cool. I mean, that was like the family gift. Not really, no. Especially with Ben. Like even before that, with my family there, I was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, "Nothing. Don't worry about it. Take care of yourselves. Do whatever." Blah blah. Now they send Ben stuff, and then me and Jen are throughout the year we just get what we need to get or get what we want, right? And I don't think we're not much to the. We're not. I mean. Most of anything I would want is a video game, so it's pretty easy for me, or a Proton pack, and I pre-order those, so don't worry about that.
Gotcha.
So, what about you? Did you get any cool gifts?
I mean, I got a couple. I got a shout out to Roger Corney. Him and Leanza got me "Awaken My Love," which is one of Childish Gambino, Donald Glover's albums. I love that album, and so love that. And then for a Secret Santa, I got from Yusef Magid. I got Keena Brunson's book. I don't know if you watch Abbott Elementary or if you're familiar with Keena Brunson.
No.
She used to be at BuzzFeed. She made like a lot of really funny videos. Went on to write Abbott Elementary, which is like a very popular comedy show now. But she wrote a book called She Memes Well. And usually I'm not a big reader, but I saw that book and I was like, damn, I might wishlist this because I like Keena Brunson. It looks interesting. And I like when Yusef got it for me for Christmas, I looked at it, I was like, oh hell yeah. I looked inside and I was like, the text is big. I'm gonna read this. It was gonna be an easy read, so I'm all in for it.
Have you started it yet?
No, not yet.
I'm trying to learn from past mistakes where I aspire to have the desire and time to read. And what happens inevitably is I'm at the airport. I don't want to play a game I've packed. I see an interesting book. I buy the book, right? And I read it on the plane. And I get, a quarter of the way through it, and then I put it down, and then I never go back to it when I'm back home with all my devices and life, things like that. So over this break, the movie master, M. Night Shyamalan, put out this new trailer for I'm gonna get this all wrong. Cabin at the End of the World, I think, is what the movie's called. And I tweeted about how great it looked, and Batista looks great in it. And then somebody was like, "It's based on this book. You should talk about that instead." But they changed the name of the book to Cabin or whatever. The chat's gonna tell me all this in a second. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get that book. And then I went, you know what? I'm not going to Amazon this. I'm going to walk my happy ass with Ben to the library. Wow. And I got it from the library. Wow. And I've had it like a week, and it's just sat on the shelf unread. But I will get there with it.
You're taking him to the library now.
Oh, dude. That's the thing about, Ben. He's got 2 wake windows. And so on a weekend, that's 4 activities. But when you got 2 full weeks with this kid, we're out there. We're doing multiple playgrounds. We did 3 playgrounds in a day once. You know what I mean? Come on,
3 different playgrounds.
3 different playgrounds. Yeah. He's going shopping. At the stores. He's doing this. We're bopping over there. We're walking through the toy stores. We're walking through. Did you know that we went downtown? Downstairs.
Toys R Us is closed down. Yeah, I know.
We went downtown to take our photos at Union Square, and then of course all the Macy's now have Toys R Us installations inside of them. And I've seen a couple of these, and I'm like, they're okay, cool, you have a department. Your toy department's branded Toys R Us, whatever. The one, and they probably don't have any more, but downtown in front of the Christmas tree, they actually took over a standalone shop. So it was again, like, you know, bare concrete floors. They clearly just took over an empty space, but it was like, all right, cool, I'm kind of in a Toys R Us again. That's neat.
That's really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. See, you were about to dunk on Toys R Us, but there it is. Jeffrey the
I'm gonna
Crab.
have to visit a Macy's now.
Well, how about we visit the top stories of the day that include Starfield's reconfirmed for the first half of 2023, Nintendo reportedly canceled the Switch Pro, and more, because this is Kinda Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about, all here on Kinda Funny Games Daily. If you want to be a part of the show, write in with your burning conversations about the day's top stories at kindafunny.com/KFGD. Then head over to patreon.com/kindafunny, where, of course, you can get each and every episode ad-free. You can support us and get 38 exclusive bonus episodes of content each and every month. And, of course, you can get all the Kinda Funny Games content, all the Kinda Funny regular podcast content up there. You can watch us record it live. You can get it ad-free. You can be part of the show. You can get posters. You can get all sorts of t-shirts and things. It's amazing. Patreon.com/kindafunny. However, if you have no bucks to toss our way, it's no big deal. You can watch us record the show live on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames. You can watch later on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, and you can listen on podcast services around the globe each and every weekday. Some housekeeping for you. Game of the Year is happening this Monday. We're going live right here on YouTube and Twitch at 10 a.m. Pacific with a live Gamescast counting down Kinda Funny's Game of the Year. You don't want to miss it. Janet, Paris are flying up here. They will be here. Mike will be here. We will have everybody out here, and we will run through crowning the top 10 games, obviously, for Kinda Funny, but then our Game of the Year. We have all made our weighted ballots, our own personal top 10s. We have sent them to Barrett Courtney. Barrett knows who has won, and who was it, Barrett?
It was Dying Light 2.
Ah, the dark horse.
Let's go,
Well, look surprised. Look surprised on Monday when we do that. Again, that will preempt. There will be no Games Daily that day. It will take our time slot. We'll probably go for quite a long time talking about all the games we loved from last year. And you can get that on youtube.com/kindafunnygames live, twitch.tv/kindafunnygames live, youtube.com/kindafunnygames later, and podcast services around the globe under the Gamescast podcast feed. But it'll be more fun if you come watch it live with us wherever you get your live programming. Speaking of big events, we're doing a Kinda Funny Day stream this Friday to kick off the year. That, of course, is happening on Twitch and YouTube right after Kinda Funny Games Daily. We'll go for quite some time, and we are celebrating 8 years of Kinda Funny. I still feel like we're hungover from launching the spare bedroom, like launching the giant studio with the giant event and 24-hour stream, which we'll never do again. So this will be just a fun hangout. Hey, we made it 8 years. Let's talk about what's going on, play some games, and hang out. It'll be a good time.
I scheduled a tweet this morning for tomorrow because for some reason I thought today was going to be my Kinda Funny anniversary. It turns out it's the 4th, not the 3rd.
Gotcha.
But I scheduled a tweet that was I'm starting my 4th year working at Kinda Funny, and I'm starting my 6th month working in a Kinda Funny studio. Yeah.
Oh my god.
It was the same thing when you sent me the photos and videos of your house flooded over the break, and I turned to Jen. I'm just like, we told this kid to move here. It would be great. You'll get away from the rains of Seattle. You'll get to hang out with us and go to parties.
It never flooded like that in Seattle. I never had to deal with like, you know, oh, maybe my car's going to wash away in Seattle.
Tomorrow's my 4-year anniversary. I'll be here half of the lifetime of Kinda Funny.
Wow. Does that feel real? Does that feel real, Barrett?
No.
Yeah.
Because also half of that was
COVID.
at home.
Yeah, it sucks. Well, you know, break you here, I guess. I don't know. Remember, if you want to support us, of course, you can use their creator code Kinda Funny on the Epic Game Store, Fortnite, Rocket League on your PlayStation, Xbox, wherever you're playing, and you can put in that Epic creator code, maybe on your Switch. Go ahead and put in Kinda Funny. Thank you to our Patreon producer, Delaney Twining. Today we're brought to you by Honey, but we'll tell you about that later. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be the Roper Report. Time for some news. 5 items on the Roper Report.
A big guess does it.
For number 1 story for 2023. That was a weird way to say it. We go to VGC, where Andy Robinson writes, Bethesda reiterates Starfield will release in the first half of this year. Bethesda has reiterated it intends to release Xbox console-exclusive Starfield during the first half of the year. The statement was made on a newly launched support site for the Todd Howard RPG, which went live at the start of this month. Quote, Starfield arrives exclusively on Xbox Series X and S and PC in the first half of 2023, it states. Starfield will also release for PC and cloud streaming. Speaking with the Lex Friedman podcast last year, Todd Howard claimed the decision to delay the game from last year was a tough one, quote, but the right thing to do, and that Bethesda was working with, quote, the top engineers at Xbox to make the game sing on consoles. Blessing,
Greg.
Todd Howard, not a big man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
like,
do you believe this story as far as you can throw Todd Howard? That's my question for you right
do I
now.
believe it?
First half of this year for Starfield, is it happening?
Yeah, you know what? I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it. I think there's a very good chance that this actually hits the first half of this year. I think there's also a decent chance that it ends up delaying, but I'm like 50-50, maybe 60-40 on it coming out in the first half. I think at the very least it comes out in 2023. Right?
Sure.
Like I'd be shocked to see it go to 2024. This story actually gets me excited for the idea of, man, we're really in 2023.
Yeah.
Like we really get to start the next conversation, right? Like no more is it about the Elden Rings and the God of War Ragnaroks. Now it's about
Spider-Man 2.
The Spider-Man 2s, the Starfields, the Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. And honestly, I was thinking about this morning as I was putting together the show. Is this the first year in a very long time where it feels like each of the three big console manufacturers have probably a likely Game of the Year contender?
With doing no research off the cuff, I would say, yeah, right, because it is that Xbox has been so devoid for so long, right, of that. And, I mean, granted, we're running on hype, so I guess you could point back to like a Halo Infinite year, where it's like when that was getting ready to launch, or many times it was getting ready to launch. And like, that's going to be Game of the Year contender.
And I don't want to discount the idea that like any of these games can come out and not
be turds.
Yeah, like, you know, Starfield could easily come out and be Cyberpunk.
To jump into it, and as we watch this, where are you at with Starfield? Are you excited for Starfield?
I'm very excited just based off of
pedigree,
who I am in the games that I like.
Yeah.
Right. Where, funny enough, watching that non-E3 trailer, well, it was the Summer Game Fest trailer, the Xbox showcase that they did back in June.
Sure.
The gameplay trailer they showed that was like 15 minutes of gameplay or whatever. I remember not being as excited about it, and as impressed by the gameplay. And I think part of that is it looks like more of Bethesda, right?
Yeah.
Which I like Bethesda a lot, right? But the innovations I feel like didn't come through as much in this gameplay trailer. And then also, you know, they got into some of the nitty-gritty of like some of the survival aspects, right? Like there seems to be like some No Man's Sky DNA going on in Starfield in ways that don't necessarily excite me because I'm not that kind of player. I'm here for the story. I'm here for the exploration. That said, yeah, when you talk about the pedigree of who Bethesda is, you're talking about games like Fallout 3. You're talking about games like Skyrim. And Fallout 3, for me, is one of my favorite RPGs ever.
Hell yeah.
Skyrim is a game that a lot of people love, right? Like that was a monument.
I like a nice way to say you didn't like it, but a lot of people like it.
I liked it as much as I like a fantasy RPG. Right? You know, that's a game that so many people look to. That was a monumental release. And it's been a while since we've gotten one of those from Bethesda, right? 2015, we got Fallout 4. And again, Fallout 4 is another one that I really, really enjoy. But I don't think that was as monumental of a release as I'd say Skyrim or even Fallout 3 were. And so it's been a while since we've gotten one of those. And I think there's a chance that Starfield could be one of those. And if it is one of those, that's going to be really big and that's going to be really huge. But I think that's the one where there's the most range for it to be absolutely incredible Game of the Year to it being, oh man, why is this so buggy? Oh man, why is this not hitting the way that we thought it was going to hit? But I'm excited for it. What about you?
I'm in a similar place based on we've watched this demo, obviously, that we're seeing play right now. This is the Summer Game Fest one, right? Yeah. Thank you very much. And I'm with you that what I look at and when I see it play, I'm not like, oh my God, I can't fucking wait. I look at him like, oh, it is a lot like No Man's Sky. Oh, okay, it is very shootery and yada, yada, yada. Like, I'm with you I'm excited because I love Fallout so much. And so the idea of, hey, here's a third pillar in what is the Bethesda Todd Howard RPG kind of world, right? It's, again, the pedigree and the history that makes me go, all right, well, it looks pretty. It looks detailed. I'm excited to get in there and see what the world is actually going on and what the story is and where we're at with it and blah, 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 blah. But nothing about the gameplay has made me go, oh, I can't wait. I need to play that. But again, we're getting whatever this was, a 9 minutes Barrett, 10-minute glimpse at what is going to be theoretically a 60, 100-hour RPG. Yeah, you know what I mean? Somewhere in there. So it's like, I'm excited because, yes, I like Bethesda RPGs. And so that makes me go, okay, cool. I'll probably enjoy this, but it does look not generic, but it doesn't look, I think, Skyrim, even though it's not my jam, pops. And you're like, that looks unique.
I don't think they've showed the wow factor.
Fallout, you look at it, you're like, oh, this is so cool. I'm walking through, you know, old Boston. I'm walking through old Maryland or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, this is cool. Like, this just looks like, oh, okay. It looks like a less stylized No Man's Sky. It looks like a less vibrant Mass Effect there as we fly around. Like, and I mean, these are, you know, just literally passing the window dressings and saying something. Nothing about it makes me go, oh, fuck yeah, that's what I need. But I'm still excited for it, yeah.
Yeah, and I think we're still in the waiting phase of finding out more about it and what the actual, like, what's going to be the magic of this game? What's going to be the thing that sticks out about it that makes us go, oh, snap, all right, this is the secret sauce here. And I think there's a good chance that could be just the writing of story and how they go about factions and how they go about letting you choose which factions you want to side with, right? Like, that's always the thing in the Bethesda games is they do a pretty good job of making you look at the Brotherhood of Steel versus another faction and going, oh, damn, like, I like these guys, but also, oh, man, I can side with the super mutants this time. Oh, shit. You know, who do I want to go with? I'm sure Starfield is going to be filled with all types of that, and they've talked about it, right? In their sit-downs, talking about their vision for Starfield and what they're working on for Starfield. But
that's my whole thing where it's like, with all due respect to them, right? Like, I'm sick of talking about Starfield.
Of course,
I want to play it. I want to see it. I want to go and experience, which is a good place to be in. I am cautiously optimistic. I am not hyped. I cannot wait. I hope by the time we get there, they've dropped a couple trailers or whatever that have made me go, oh, fuck, I can't wait. And that's also the thing of being in this weird spot of like, cool, it's coming the next 6 months.
Do you believe it's coming in the next 6 months?
Might as well. Like, it's one of the things where both Bethesda and Xbox understand how much hinges on Starfield, right? For Bethesda, it's the reputation after taking some hits here with Fallout 76, right? And where they've been. Then, of course, for Xbox, it's trying to, you know, justify all these purchases and also justify exclusives. Like you're talking about, like, is this the first year they've all had a Game of the Year contender? Like, again, just based on hype, you hope so because, we just had an Xcast from Mike, right? Of like, there's never been a Game of the Year for Xbox at Game Awards, right? Like, Xbox needs to have some fucking games. And you hope Redfall is going to be great. You hope this is going to be great. You hope these are all things where like, oh, fuck. Xbox is there and competing in a way they were during that 360 generation that we just did not see really since then.
Yeah. And earlier in chat, there was somebody that asked, like, you know, what is Blessing looking at in terms of the bar for success for Starfield? Sure. And I think this is a very interesting release for that exact reason that you're talking about in terms of this isn't just a Bethesda game anymore, right? This isn't just a, oh man, this is the next step of Bethesda Game Studios and then putting out a big RPG that's going to sell well and do all these things. It's like, no, now this is an Xbox first party game. There was an interview with Todd Howard not too long ago where he was talking about like, yeah, like, you know, it was our first party game like this, right, for a console. And now it's not just about us. It's about selling consoles and, like, in theory, selling Xbox Game Pass. I think that has to go into it. And I think what also has to go into it is the fact that, yeah, like, there's a lot more weight on your shoulders because I think now a lot of people, I would say everybody should be looking at Starfield as, oh, okay, this is the next tentpole for Xbox, right? In the way that you look at Halo as a, oh, okay, everybody pay attention. This game means something for how well this platform is going to do, right? This game is going to help define this platform, at least this year for this platform, or maybe even the next couple of years. Starfield has to do that, right? I think Starfield has to come out and be the best Xbox game this year. It has to be one of the best games of the year for Xbox to go, hey, look at our portfolio. We have one of these, right? Like, you look at PlayStation and the last few years, they have had God of Wars. They've had Last of Us Part 2s, right? There's always some game from PlayStation Studios that is, oh man, all right, this is one of the best of the year. I think Starfield has to be that for Xbox.
Sure. And I mean, above all that too, right? Like, and I saw it in the early part of the chat going on, right? Like, it's got to be better than Outer Worlds, right? Like, you figure this is another Xbox-owned space RPG that, you know, is the people who made Fallout New Vegas and broke off in Obsidian, obviously, and doing all these great things. Like, it needs to come out and be able to beat that, which is a beloved space RPG, right? It was smaller because they're a smaller studio, but what will Starfield look like? We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
However, I do have a question and breaking news in the same vein of this Bethesda information, over on Twitter, Code CWA, which is the campaign to organize digital employees in the tech, games, and digital industries, tweets, breaking, Zenimax workers won their election, making them the first official bargaining unit of Microsoft and the largest certified video game studio union in the U.S. The company has formally recognized the union with CWA Union. Historic win. What a way to start 2023. So
wow.
Breaking news there. We'll have more, I'm sure, to report as reports roll in throughout the day. But of course, Zenimax, the parent umbrella, right, that's also owned by Xbox, but that includes Bethesda Game Studios, Zenimax Online, id Software, Arcane Studios, Machine Games, Tango Gameworks, Alpha Dog Games, Roundhouse Studios. Apparently those workers, their Twitter bio, the workers of Zenimax unionizing for better jobs and a better video game industry. That apparently has happened, so congratulations to them, and good on Microsoft for immediately recognizing
Bethesda the studio, under Bethesda the publisher, under Zenimax the parent company, under Xbox the game company,
under Microsoft the parent company,
under the U.S. government.
Cameron wrote in to kindafunny.com/KFGD, just like you should and do each and every day, saying, knowing the releases in the first half of the year thus far, Hogwarts Legacy, Jedi Survivor, Suicide Squad, and some second half releases, Spider-Man 2, do y'all expect the first half to pop off harder than the second half of 2023? By the way, January 3rd is my 21st birthday. Any recommendations?
Alcohol.
Alcohol.
Yeah, alcohol. Yeah.
I drink.
I don't know anything about you. Yeah, you know what I mean? I like a good beer. Like I like a good hazy IPA, but I don't think you could just jump into that and enjoy that. Same with like a martini. The first martini I ever had when I was like, I'm going to drink martinis. We went to France. We were, underage in America, not in France. Went there, and I was like, I'll get a martini. I drank. I was like, this is rubbing alcohol, and I hit it. Like I didn't want.
Yeah, that's why I feel like a cocktail would be starting off pretty strong.
Yeah.
Cocktail.
Just do shots.
Find a cocktail where you see the ingredients and it makes you go, ooh, that sounds tasty.
What Barrett said.
Yeah.
Or make a paint can. I digress.
No, don't make a paint can.
Do that.
Don't do that.
Cameron, do you want to live? Do you want to be a man or a mouse? All right, make a goddamn paint can and send me a photo.
When I turned 21, I drank was it Red's Apple Ale? It was some cheap cider.
Yeah.
And honestly, that was a great way to do it.
Sure.
Tastes great.
Oh, Mike's Hard Lemonade if you want to just yeah. I digress. Back into this. Do you think the first half of the year is going to pop off more than the second half?
Oh, Greg, I turned to Blessing's super fun game release calendar 2023, which was posted yesterday. January 2nd.
I do want to compliment you on something. I talk about all the time how great you dress. I talk about how great you are to host with and how far you've come and how proud of you I am.
Thank you.
I also applaud your commitment to this game release calendar, where it was like when you first did, I was like, this is like whatever. And then you kept updating it and doing it. And you made it a thing to the point that I opened Instagram yesterday and I follow all the hashtags related to Kind of Funny. And somebody had made you like a graphic for this. I'm like, God damn it. All right. Well, this is an official fucking thing now.
And like this fucking Google Doc that I take screenshots of has way more likes than it should. Like it's about to get 1,000 likes on Twitter. And I just tweeted it out yesterday. And so shout out to y'all, the Blessing Super Fun Game Release Calendar Army.
The CVS receipt of games.
But as I look through it, right, like we're in terms of big releases, we're talking about in January, Forspoken, Dead Space, right? In February, we're talking about Hogwarts Legacy. We're talking about PlayStation VR 2. We're talking about Horizon Call of the Mountain. You move into March, right, when we're getting Star Wars Jedi Survivor, Skull and Bones. We're getting Wolong Fallen.
Somebody's gonna like that. Somebody wants to play that.
Wolong Fallen Dynasty, Resident Evil 4 remake, right? And then you move into April.
Well, you're gonna skip over Crime Boss Rocky City.
You're right. Crime Boss Rocky City. Well, I mean, how could I forget?
Is that the one from the Game Awards with Michael Madsen and all that?
Yes.
That thing's gonna be a train wreck, and I can't wait to play it.
You think it's gonna be a train wreck?
Yeah, I do.
Bless, do you think it looks good?
I do.
I don't think it's gonna be great, but I think it'll be a fun stream. In April, of course, we get if you count movies, right? The Super Mario Brothers movie, which we don't have to count, but that Horizon Forbidden West, the DLC, The Burning Shores, Dead Island 2. Then May being Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom, Suicide Squad. June being Street Fighter 6, Diablo 4, and Final Fantasy 16. It's tough for me to imagine a second half of the year that stands up to that. Assuming everything hits, because there's an easy chance that half of this stuff can get delayed to the second half.
Yeah.
But if everything here sticks to its date, a second half of the year that is comparative to that first half, oh man, that's like one of the best years in gaming right there.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
Do you think any game in the second half of the year makes our top 10 list for next year? Just looking at how strong this...
for next year or this year?
For 2023, our top 10 games list of 2023, right?
Yeah, fuck yeah, it has to.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're right. Maybe Spider-Man 2 sucks. Who knows?
Impossible. They got Venom.
Or maybe it gets delayed.
Impossible. Get that shit out of here, Barrett. Trading half these games for Spider-Man 2.
I mean, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a question mark. I think that could easily be 2024. But if that hits 2023, I think that's going to be up there for us. Cocoon. I don't know if you remember Cocoon. That was a game that I want to say was at Xbox's showcase.
I don't remember Cocoon.
Some of the people behind like Limbo and Inside from that studio.
Okay.
Yeah. And like the gameplay for Cocoon looks incredible. It's one that I think me, Andy, maybe Tim like lit up for when they showed that off. So I think that could possibly be in the conversation. There's Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, which I don't know. I don't know where I'm at with that one. I'm not an Avatar person.
No one knows where they're at with that one. Barely Ubisoft knows where they're at with that one.
I don't like this. This is gross. This is Cocoon.
This
gross.
is Cocoon.
Jesus, that was no.
Wait till you
But
see
now
the
you're a
gameplay.
cute little guy.
Now you're
bro,
now
it
you're a
just
cute
came out
little
of some
guy.
weird fucking ball vagina.
And this cute little indie stylized
I
world.
remember this. I remember this.
Solving some puzzles. And the visual, oh man, the visual presentation of this one. Game looking cute. Looking cool. But yeah, like I think there's some chances for the second half of the year to surprise us. But at the very least, right, I think games like Marvel Spider-Man 2 and maybe Final Fantasy, right, will come through and carry the second half. There's also games like Lies of P, which that's supposed to come out in 2023.
Right. Yeah,
Who knows if that actually comes out, but there's that. There's
Silk
Alan
Song.
Wake 2. I won't believe Silk Song.
Silk Song, well, if we remember, Silk Song was part of the Xbox showcase last year, and they said all those games presented would come out in the next 12 months. So
True.
Silk Song,
There you go.
That's
apparently in
what's
the
first
first half of this year.
Barrett, do you know what almost came out but didn't come out in favor of the Switch 2? The Nintendo Switch Pro. We go to Paul Tassi at Forbes for number 2 on the Roper Report. Nintendo reportedly canceled the Switch Pro in favor of the Switch 2. A weird thing happened this past year when Nintendo announced that new Switch hardware would be coming to the market. The main draw was a new OLED screen, and upon further examination, it was clear there was no actual power upgrades in the new unit, despite previous rumors that some were coming. Well, we may have a clearer picture of what happened now and what's going to be happening in the future. According to Digital Foundry, Nintendo was planning on doing a mid-gen Switch upgrade that everyone had been calling the Switch Pro. However, those plans were ultimately scrapped and work instead shifted towards the next generation Switch successor instead, which most would call the Switch 2. Digital Foundry goes on to say that no, we should not expect the new Switch in 2023, and that Nintendo is somewhat concerned about the launch of a follow-up system given what happened between the massively successful Wii and the disastrous Wii U. They don't want to replicate that situation. It's somewhat easy to see how we arrived here. The Nintendo Switch continues to sell massively well despite lagging behind competitors in power, where in some cases, it's pretty much 2 full generations behind now. But the system and software are so good it simply doesn't matter. So why waste time and resources on a partial upgrade when everyone is perfectly content buying the original? Blessing.
Craig.
Do you worry? I mean, there obviously this makes sense. We've talked. The Switch Pro rumors was kicked around for so long before the OLED Switch popped, and everybody's like, "What?" What I find interesting is this paragraph talking about like Nintendo's concerned about the launch of a follow-up system, given what happened between the massively successful Wii and the disastrous Wii U. Would that be a concern for you?
No, I understand why it's a concern for Nintendo though,
Yeah.
right? Because like I think for them the Wii U was a moment where they go, "Oh shit, okay, we're not invincible." Like the Wii is the most successful thing on the planet and we're coming out with a sequel for it and it fucking just fails. Right? So I kind of understand the sentiment of, "Hey, let's be really careful. Like let's be really vigilant on how we go about a Switch successor." That said, I don't think they'll have much problems with a quote unquote Switch 2 or a Switch Pro or whatever the successor is, as long as it just sticks to what the Switch is good at and it's more powerful.
That's I mean, I'm not in, obviously these are rumors and Digital Foundry talking, what they've heard and stuff like that, but it's like to look at the Wii to the Wii U and worry about, oh man, a Switch to a Switch 2, I'm like, this is the lesson of the Wii U is easy, right? It's just like don't it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly.
Like the Wii U was a weird one because the whole show, like that E3, I'll never forget finishing that conference and being like, so is it we were in the IGN war room. We're like, is it just the tablet? Is there a new there were so many follow-ups and such a weird presentation of it. If you were to come out and first off, don't fucking call it the Switch 2, call it the Super Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah.
Come on. Come
that
on.
would be hot.
That would be so fucking hot, right?
I don't
And
think they're
again,
gonna do that though.
what?
Do you think that you think they're gonna call it the Super Switch or the Super Nintendo Switch?
I wish they would. I don't think they
Because
would.
I feel like that
They'll call it a
almost,
Switch 2.
I feel like even though as gamers we understand what that means because we know the Nintendo, Super Nintendo, I feel like there is still that fear of with the Wii U, it was going back to the
Again,
bad
what a
marketing
terrible
thing.
way to fuck it up.
What a terrible name, but I could see parents going to the store and seeing a Super Nintendo Switch and going, okay, so it's just the Switch, but like, is it?
Is it that much? Yeah. But again, if it is, and I don't know what it would be, but a bigger screen and more power and this, that, and the other, and it's doing 4K, and it's not like if it is a market upgrade, I think it's going to look different enough.
Yeah.
Like I think that'd be the other thing is break out of the mold of like what we expect the Switch to be with the Joy-Cons or whatever. I still have Joy-Cons probably to play backwards compatible.
Of course.
If they actually do that, I'm not even betting that much, but I'm just saying like I don't think you can fuck it up. And that's not what I'm saying. I just think it's harder to fuck up.
It is way harder.
With you've learned of like, especially with the adoption rate of the Switch. They've already shown that like every time you put out a new Switch, people will buy it, whether they have the Switch or don't have the Switch. So now if you're coming out and like this is the new thing, there's exclusive games to it. There's all these cool. Here's the new Mario. Here's the new Mario Kart. Here's the new Animal Crossing. Here's the new Zelda. And even if these are just promises, not even like it's gonna fucking sell.
I think my thing is just don't get. And it might be a tough ask for Nintendo is don't get too cute. Like I know I've been playing a lot of FIFA, so I'm gonna make a soccer/football reference of when you're in front of the goal and it's like, all right, it's you and the keeper, and then you start like, doing
Cute
tricks,
little dribbles,
doing little dribbles, trying to like, oh yeah, but what if I can like out dribble the goalkeeper? It's like no, just shoot the shot. You just take the straight on shot, right?
Yeah.
I think the problem with the Wii U is that nobody asked for the Wii U. They gave you this tablet, this weird thing that like wasn't what we liked about the Wii, right? And wasn't like a straightforward thing. They gave us this thing that we didn't ask for.
Yeah.
And it failed because of it. With the Switch 2 or whatever you call it, don't give us what we don't ask for. Everybody's asking for a more powerful Switch. Just give us a more powerful Switch. I think that's all you need to do, and it'll be fine.
Yeah, and again, like this isn't rocket science. Like we've seen how insane the Switch has sold, how insane the games have sold. So yeah, it's a brand new Mario Kart for this brand new thing, and it's only playable there. Don't do the bridging between, it still plays on Switch, but there's a Switch 2 version, or no.
Yeah.
Just, you believe in generations, and you're going this way, and this is how it's going to work, and it's going to be.
and you give us a better UI and themes.
Just some
Themes, God, everybody wants fucking themes,
So then when do you think we get the next console for Nintendo? Because it sounds like now it's not anytime soon, right? Zelda Tears of the Kingdom for sure is just going to be a Switch game.
Yeah.
Which is something we have to all reckon with. As Tim, I'm
fine.
I know the whole world doesn't agree, but like I'm probably in the camp of people that I'm tired of the Switch's current power. I would love the Switch to like be more powerful. It was fine in 2017. Now that we have the Xbox Series X and the PS5,
The Steam Deck.
and the Steam Deck, going back and forth between those and the Switch, like playing. I know there was more problems with Pokemon more than the Switch, but I'd say the Switch is probably one of the problems with it, right? Like going back and playing even things like Bayonetta or Xenoblade or No More Heroes, right? Games that are even great on the Switch, they can still be an eyesore.
Yeah.
For me, that's no bueno in 2023. I think sooner than later, I would love to see some kind of revision or iteration on the console, but it seems like that's going to be more later than sooner.
Yeah, all we're going off of was what Digital Foundry has here, right? And as always, I think it really comes down to when the Switch stops selling, when the Switch isn't doing juggernaut numbers still, and so there's no rush, I think, on Nintendo's part, right? The Switch does not sell based on, oh man, it needs to run the newest Call of Duty, it needs to run the latest Assassin's Creed. Like that's not what the Switch's bread and butter is. It is Mario, it is Switch experiences, it is indies, which, for the most part run well there. And yeah, they don't look as good as something we'd be playing on PlayStation 5, but the millions of people buying it generally don't care.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I wish I could tell you better news, but I think, that's
the thing is like, you're absolutely right. And I think I forget if they hinted at it in the Digital Foundry article, but like, I'm sure as Nintendo, you look at the numbers, you look at the fact that the Switch is still selling great, and you go, no, because we don't want to release a new thing that's going to cut off the numbers of the thing that's still selling.
Sure.
Let's take our time, let's bide our time, and wait for numbers to dip whatsoever to then go, all right, release the new Switch.
This was always the argument of when the Wii U was out there tanking and not doing well, of, when are Nintendo going to go and be a third-party publisher? When am I going to be able to play a classic Mario on a PlayStation or Xbox or your phone even? You know what I mean? And the argument always there was, well, you'll get that when they have to do that. Like, that's a war chest of money whenever they want to flip that switch and do that thing. Like, and this is I'm not saying anything about the digital games and third-party publishing. I'm just saying it's the same argument here of like, if there's no reason to rush out a Switch 2, why would you rush out a Switch 2? Sorry, Bless. You have to keep playing eyesore games.
I just want my Tears of the Kingdom to look magnificent.
Do you have an OLED?
It's gonna look like Breath of the Wild. I do have an OLED.
Mm.
But like even on the OLED, I'm like, well, one, I'm more of a dock person than a handheld person.
Cinder.
But also, even on the OLED, those games don't look the best.
They don't sing.
They don't.
They're
sing.
pretty though.
What was the last like Nintendo first party game that you would say was like genuinely? I guess. I don't know.
Fuck off! I guess
the art style of Kirby was great, but like
Yeah.
Kirby still looks like a PS3 game. Like a really great PS3 game, but like it still looks generations behind compared to other games that you're getting in 2022. Yeah, like Kirby doesn't look as great graphically and fidelity wise.
People say Xenoblade.
Yeah, that was one of those things that I almost stopped you, but I'm not versed in it enough. But I remember when people were like, Pokemon runs like shit, fuck the old Switch. And a lot of people like Imran were like, whoa, hold on a second. Like, Xenoblade looks amazing and runs great. So clearly this is a Game Freak problem.
Xenoblade runs way better than Pokemon, and I'll say looks better than Pokemon. But like Xenoblade is still I would look toward other modern JRPGs and go, well, Tales of Arise looks better still, right?
Sure.
And that's because of the hardware. And again, this isn't me being like Xenoblade and Kirby look ugly and bad. Like, no, I think they look great, but I think they could look way better if they ran on more powerful hardware.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, you could look way better if you went to patreon.com/kindafunny, because over there, of course, you can get shirts and shit that you could wear and look great in and stuff like that. You know what I mean? There's like exclusive t-shirts and stuff if you're in the higher tiers and yada, blah, blah. I digress. Mainly on patreon.com/kindafunny. You could go there and watch us record the other podcast live, all private. You could get it ad-free. You, of course, get 38 bonus episodes of exclusive content we post monthly over there, including daily Greg Ways from me, Greg. But right now, what's most important is you're not watching on patreon.com/kindafunny. So here's a word from our sponsor.
Shout out to Honey for sponsoring this episode. Honey's the easy way to save when shopping on your iPhone or computer. Thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past, and we all know there's nothing better than the feeling of saving money. Honey's the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. Here's how it works. Imagine you're shopping on one of your favorite websites. When you check out, the Honey button appears, and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. Wait a few seconds as Honey searches for coupons it can find for that site, and if Honey finds a working coupon, you'll watch the prices drop. We here at Kind of Funny have been using Honey for years, and it has literally saved us thousands of dollars on tech, costumes, food, you name it. Honestly, I just love how easy it is to just set and forget and save. Honey doesn't just work on desktops, it works on your iPhone too. Just activate it on Safari on your phone and save on the go. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out. And by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this show. Get PayPal Honey for free at joinhoney.com/kindafunny. That's joinhoney.com/kindafunny.
And we're back. Number 3 on the Roper Report, a YouTuber beats Nintendo after it tried nuking evidence of a canceled Zelda. This is Ethan Gotch over at Kotaku. Early in December 2022, Nintendo had a journalistic documentary about a failed 2004 pitch for Zelda Tactics game nuked from YouTube. Last week, however, Google's video sharing platform restored the project after seemingly failing to find any copyright infringement. It's the rare example of a content creator standing firm and getting a copyright takedown notice reversed. We won, YouTube channel Did You Know Gaming tweeted on December 28th. The Heroes of Hyrule video is back up, end quote. It added that YouTube confirmed the original copyright takedown notice was indeed from Nintendo and not an imposter, and that the video has received over 20,000 views in its first day back. The video was originally posted back in October and featured material from a failed Retro Studios pitch to make a Legend of Zelda Tactics spin-off for the Nintendo DS called The Heroes of Hyrule. The video poured over the design goals and delved into why the studio best known for Metroid Prime was interested in making it in the first place, all based on an interview with the former developer behind the pitch. When Nintendo issued a copyright takedown notice against the video months later in December, Did You Know Gaming accused the beloved gaming company of censoring journalism and hurting efforts of preserving historical records. It told Kotaku it planned to defend the video on fair use grounds, and that campaign now appears to have prevailed. Quote, when you counter a DMCA on YouTube, the company who DMCA'd you has 10 working days to show that they've taken legal action against you or the video is restored, tweeted Shane Gill, the owner of Did You Know Gaming. So, I spent the past 2 weeks checking my email to see if Nintendo was suing me, end quote. Nintendo was not suing, at least not yet. While that option still remains, the Mario Maker would now have to take the channel to court to get the video removed again, rather than simply relying on flexing YouTube's automatic copyright protection policies. Quote, their intent was to scrub this piece of journalistic work from the internet because they didn't like what it uncovered, Gil tweeted.
Wow.
Hooray, journalism!
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Good on you, Did You Know Gaming.
And again, it's always the Streisand effect with Nintendo. We don't like this thing, so we'll make it a bigger deal. We'll make this a bigger deal than it ever would have been before.
Like, oh, there's a Metroid 2 remake, destroy it. And then all of a sudden, everybody knows about that Metroid 2 remake.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. I'm glad it got back up. It seems like a bunch of bullshit to take down. I understand Nintendo wanting to protect that because there are a bunch of weirdos about that kind of thing, but who fucking cares? A bunch of games get pitched, never happen.
And also, shout out to a YouTube channel and a journalistic outlet for winning this battle.
Yeah.
Because usually you don't hear about them winning.
No,
right?
no, you
Usually
don't.
they're like,
Usually
oh,
you
man,
don't.
Nintendo's a big company with a lot more money than us.
And it's cool that they fought, right? Like,
Yeah.
and again, like to be clear, like, you know, YouTube dealing with DMCA's is often just a black hole of information, where you don't, it's not like you're talking to a person usually about what's going on. It's usually the automatic requests and all this stuff, and then nothing happens. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Roger Picorni. Hello, Roger. How are you? I'm great. Can you stand right here in the middle? While we were in break, they talked about your shirt. And I think Barrett said it's one of the worst shirts he's ever seen in his life.
Is that Cloud Strife?
Is that Cloud outside of a McDonald's? Is that what this shirt is?
Leanza, my girlfriend.
Love your life. Don't get choked up. It's okay.
She got this for me for Christmas. It was a last minute thing. She saw it on an Instagram ad.
I
and
fucking called
I think
it.
it's a great shirt.
It is a great shirt.
Yeah, I asked where Roger got the shirt. Yeah, during the ad break.
And I said Instagram.
yeah,
Yeah.
it looks just like some kind of Facebook ad, Instagram ad shirt. Honestly,
like,
I dig it. I like this.
It's just my only complaint, because I love it. I love everything about it. Is just the McDonald's is too dark. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't like
No,
you have to like
adds to it though.
if you strain your eyes, like, oh, he's parked outside. He's parked outside. Okay, he's parked outside of McDonald's. All right, thanks, Raj.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank
Good
you.
stuff. Keep us posted with the cool shirts
He
you
was
found. on
really
Instagram.
excited about this shirt too. Like I saw him walking into the studio, and he looked at me. He's like, "I'm so excited to reveal this to everybody."
Share. Yeah, I know. I mean, I'm wearing a great shirt too. The Jurassic
Jurassic
World.
World.
This is
What's
the
that?
Is today Graphic
Fallen
T Day? Did
Kingdom.
I miss the
I
memo?
don't get
Every
that.
day with Greg Miller's graphic TJ.
Did you get that from an Instagram ad?
No, I
What's
bought
that?
it. Oh, I bought it off Amazon when Andy was talking shit about it. I got a great tweet I've been cooking up too. I need to go through it. What I want to do basically is actually, chat, help me out. All right. You can just tweet this information to me. Chat, be cool. Don't tweet it at Andy. Tweet the information to me, not Andy, okay? I need you to go through and tell me on what day we reviewed Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom for in review, and Andy was a bitch about it. Get me a good quote from that episode of Andy ragging on Fallen Kingdom, and then give me like 3 or 4 natural disasters or atrocities that have happened since then, and I'm going to link it back to that this happened because Andy didn't like Fallen Kingdom. You and me are making content. We're making content on the internet.
Help Greg do that, please.
I wasn't here for that.
Chat, be cool. Don't tell him it's happening ahead of time. If you really want to go and you really want to make like a video, we can make like a 30-second ad spot we can play too. You know what I mean? I'm just like, on December 14th, this kid fell off of an elephant and died. And like on November, there was a tornado. And,
Not
like,
the Elephant Kid.
Did you know? Like, you know how people are always trying to go back to, oh man, the world sucks now because of Harambe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
Which-
this is what we're gonna go
But
back
like,
to.
to be fair, it's factual.
It does check out.
It does
that
check
argument
out.
checks
The
out.
math
you
on
know what I
Harambe
mean?
does check out.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Harambe. Number 4 on the Roper Report, the Hitman games are being combined. This is again Andy Robinson at VGC. Hitman 3 is being rebranded and incorporating content from Hitman 1 and 2, developer IO Interactive has announced. From January 26th, Hitman 3 will become Hitman World of Assassination and include access to Hitman 1 and Hitman 2 through the existing Access Pass system. Current Hitman 3 owners will get a free upgrade to Hitman World of Assassination on all platforms. Explaining the move, IO said it was, quote, drastically simplifying the purchase experience, end quote, for new players by making Hitman World of Assassination the single available option to start playing the series. Quote, essentially, these 2 changes mean that all new players and existing Hitman 3 owners will have the same base content ownership. There will be no more confusion over which edition to buy, what content you own, how to redeem legacy packs, or import locations, etc. We're done with that, end quote. For existing players, there will be some granular purchase options designed to allow them to purchase additional content packs without rebuying what they own. Finally, IO is removing the standalone Hitman 1 and Hitman 2 products from the sale on all platforms. Quote, if you already own these games, you'll still be able to access them in the exact same way you do today, it said. Of course, the majority of content included in these games remains playable through Hitman World of Assassination with all of the improvements that were introduced in Hitman 3, end quote.
Hell
I love
yeah.
Hitman.
I do love Hitman. And I
Seems
love
like a great move.
Yeah, this is an awesome move. I'm somebody who I played through all the modern Hitman games, and it's always kind of a hassle going through and opening up Hitman 3 and going, all right, previous levels, do I have them? Do I not have them? Did I get the correct edition to then transfer the levels? Oh, do I have the levels down? It's always a hassle to figure out what content you have in the new Hitman game. And so I think the way they talk about it, it sounds like this is going to fix all of that. And so shout out to that. Also shout out to Raj Picorni for buying Hitman 1 and 2 only a few days ago.
Literally yesterday.
Literally yesterday. And got screwed over by this. And like, hey, you know, you play the game and sometimes...
Well, now he has all that content unlocked in World of Assassination or something, right? That's good.
Yeah.
Sure. That works. That's good.
You probably could have gotten it for way cheaper.
This is interesting because, you know, I watched the one, the only, the Glass Onion over the break. And it reminded me of the Hitman 3 Knives Out level.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man, maybe I want to replay that at some
You
point.
do it.
That's
Did you
good.
ever play through Hitman 3?
I didn't roll credits, but I played 3 or 4 missions from it or whatever. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I love that game.
Great game.
I cannot wait to see what IO Interactive does next. Of course, they've announced they're working on a James Bond. And that was, what, a year or two ago that they announced it?
Yeah.
And
It was
so
shortly after Hitman 3 came out. So
Yeah, and that was beginning of 2021. So yeah, that must have been a couple years ago that they announced it. So we're maybe like a couple years away from getting that game, I have to imagine. I think that's very exciting. And then there are those rumors that they're working on some kind of like fantasy game that involved dragons or something. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but like, sure, why not? At this point, IO Interactive can make whatever, and I'll pay attention to it because I think they're just so talented as a studio. So go get them, IO.
Andy Cortez is just pacing around the back of the studio. Can we help you? What's wrong? What's up?
Just hanging out.
Oh, he's doing his Gamescast homework. We're doing Gamescast live, patreon.com/kindafunny, 3:15 today. Andy had to come in here to think, I guess.
I was convinced that we were going to start the Gamescast. Blessing was going to introduce the thing that we're doing today, and Andy was going to be like, "Oh, when did we talk about this?
When did we talk? Where did you guys hear about that?
Number 5 and final on the Roper Report, ladies and gentlemen. Fall Guys is getting new cosmetics. Now, this shit happens all the time, and we ignore it, but not today. Invincible, Omni-Man, and Adam Eve are flying into the Fall Guys store on the 5th of January. Save the date. I assure you I have Fall Guys. I'm going to be playing as Mark Grayson when I platinum this game.
I feel like they must have listened to you when
Dude.
on stream you're like, "We're the good cosmetics in this."
It
game.
must. I mean, like,
goddamn.
obviously it wasn't me, but obviously it's a no-brainer. But it's kind of weird how like it was literally the week before they kicked off this thing. Like, fuck you. Every week we're gonna have a licensed IP drop in Fall Guys.
Invincible is a wild get, and it's awesome. Like these cosmetics look amazing, right? Like I really actually I was gonna say I want the Invincible one, then I was like, no, actually I want the Omni-Man one, but I'm like, oh man, I also want the Adam Eve one. I want them all.
Yeah.
Get the pack.
Also, when is the next season of Invincible, Greg?
Oof. They said they're gonna have.
I think they said they're.
I think they're having. I said I think they're gonna have an update soon, is what they said. It's not that it was like they were gonna say here we'll go to the Invincible.
But what if the update is just a trailer?
The update is like it's out now. It's out today.
Invincible HQ had tweet. Well, they probably tweet a lot, don't they? Yeah. Okay, so December 16th, they said, so this is the last month we won't have a season 2 update for you. So this month, they're supposed to update us on what's happening.
If it doesn't happen, we get to go after Seth Rogen.
But it's about time. You know what I mean?
Does Fall Guys usually have, and like you can add Fortnite in here too? Are there usually like mature shows / properties that make their way in here?
Yeah.
Because like Fall Guys, I view as a kids game, or at least like I guess it's an all ages,
Doom
you know,
Guy is,
family friendly game.
Yeah, Doom Guy, Aliens, you figure, like, you know, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Because like Invincible, I guess I just view Invincible on like as like on another level. Because
Sure.
Doom, what's the worst Doom Guy is doing? It's killing demons. Those demons probably deserved it. You know what I mean? What, Aliens?
It's still very graphic though, you know.
Yeah, but it's demon blood. You know, but Garrett, it's different from our human blood. I guess Alien is pretty violent. Invincible is like that's violent.
What a show.
What
a property.
maybe it
Everybody
was
read
fucked up
Invincible
shit.
too, all right? Go read Invincible.
I'm trying.
All I'm saying is put the
huge
boys in
omnibus,
Fall Guys.
Love it. God. I can't wait for season 2 of Invincible, but Blessing, that's so far away. If I wanted something more immediate, say what came to the mom and grop video game shops, where would I go?
you would go to the official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show hosts each and every weekday.
Yeah. I was going to compliment the eye contact and the confidence, and then there's just the little eye set to the side. I'm like, wait, no.
Remember the last part real quick.
Out today, Vampire Slayer The Resurrection on Switch. Blacksmith Forger on Switch. Tuk Tuk Extreme Real Car Driving Simulator and Parking 2023 Car Games 3D Vehicle on Switch. There's a fucking winner.
Let's go.
Barrett, give me the fucking trailer.
The 2023 Game of the Year race has started.
Heroish on Switch. New dates for you. Pocket Car Jockey Ride On will debut on Apple Arcade January 20th. NVIDIA officially announces RTX 4070 Ti desktop graphics card. That's launching January 5th for $799.
Now, I believe that Pocket Car Jockey Ride On is a new game. Or is it a port from the 3DS game?
I don't know. I'm watching Tuk Tuk Extreme Real Car Driving Simulator Parking Car Simulator.
So this is the Steam version.
Sure.
You're saying this is coming out to Switch?
This is coming out to Switch today, y'all.
Wow. Look at this.
This looks like
The power of the Switch, guys.
This looks like a prototype for an N64 game.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that big time. What else we got for you? Deals of the day from VGC. January's PlayStation Plus games are now available for download. As previously confirmed, this month's PlayStation Plus essential titles are Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, Fallout 76, and Axiom Verge 2. Very nice.
Oh.
January free Prime gaming titles are up. They include The Evil Within 2, Beat Cop, Sir, Breath Edge, Lawn Mowing Simulator, Chicken Police, Paint It Red, Far Away 2, Jungle Escape, Mom Hid My Game. Oh, I remember that. That was a cute one. Remember that one?
I don't know.
It's like a little. It's like one of those little. It almost feels like WarioWare mini games of like you pull back curtains, define your game, or do whatever. Were
there spin-offs of that game? They were like Mom Hid My 3DS or something.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
that sounds
about right. That sounds about right. Why not? We have a question. Reader mail. Remember, you can write in kindoffunny.com/KFGD. The Mayor of Tocsin writes in.
Wow. The mayor himself.
kindoffunny.com/KFGD and says, Final Fantasy VII, Super Mario 64, Halo Combat Evolved, Call of Duty 4, Fortnite, and Elden Ring are all examples of games that reinvented or outright created their respective genres. What game do you predict in the next 10 years will have an impact like those games in that we will be talking about it for decades to come as a key moment in gaming history?
Wow.
Are they predictable?
I mean, when's the next Horizon coming out?
Oh, Jesus.
Because a week later, it's going to be one of these games.
I think that's the fun thing about it is that you can't predict them, right? Where it's like when you saw Mario 64, you're like, oh, shit, wait, this changes things. When we saw Tut Tut Adventure, we were like, oh, shit, that changes things. But Elden Ring was the same way. Fortnite, of course, you didn't think was going to change the world. You thought it was going to be dead on arrival, and then they just aped PUBG, and here we are. So it's like there was definitely going to be games that shape and impact the next 10 years, but I don't know if you can sit there and be like, oh, you know what? Like I look at Starfield, and I don't think Starfield's going to do it. I think Starfield is going to be an open world RPG, and I hope I have a great time with it, but I don't think it's going to reinvent the wheel on that.
Yeah. It's funny and it's difficult because I look at the next Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and I don't think that's going to do it, right? Breath of the Wild for me, I would say did do that. You know, when I played Breath of the Wild, I was like, damn, this is going to influence a lot of games, and guess what? Like there are plenty of games that are influenced by that.
For sure.
Is Tears of the Kingdom just going to be more Breath of the Wild? Like, probably. And I don't know if that's going to have as many ripple effects in terms of the direction of open world games or games in general. But that's a difficult one because who knows? Maybe there is some special sauce in there that, like,
we are ignoring the elephant in the room. Death Stranding 2.
Oh man, the strange genre is really kicking off. I think what's also interesting is like the games that the Mayor of Tocsin lists off, right? Talking about these games reinvented or outright created their respective genres. I feel like the only one on here that probably created its genre might have been Mario 64. And I don't even know if there might have been a 3D platformer or a few before that too. Like it's hard for me to think of, but
Mario 64, I would give that too.
Yeah, but like Halo Combat Evolved, there were first-person shooters before that, right? Like Halo Combat Evolved definitely innovated on that. Same with Call of Duty 4, definitely innovated on that.
Would you sit there and go like GoldenEye 64 is what created the console first-person shooter?
The console first-person shooter.
But even that is aping and learning from stuff that's happening.
Exactly, and I look at Fortnite, and PUBG was before Fortnite, right? And like,
of course,
there were other Battle Royale games before PUBG as well. So I think if you wanted to predict it, you would look at what are the genres right now that are just flourishing, that are just rising to the surface in terms of niche audiences or cult audiences, And what big AAA publisher or developer is going to look at that and go, all right, how do we take this and take it to the next level? I feel like usually that's how that goes. And so maybe, I don't know, man, maybe there is. I
don't know, man.
I was gonna say like the 4v1 asymmetrical multiplayer game. Like, well, maybe there's like a developer out
Well,
there. That's
Ghostbusters
like,
Spirits Unleashed already did that.
oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Maybe there's a developer out there that's like, yo, what if we took this and made the best version of this ever?
Sure. Maybe
And
one
now
of
it's
these PlayStation games and services they keep talking about.
I mean, honestly, I know, and I say this without joking, right? Last of Us Factions. If Last of Us Factions lives up to what I think some of its potential could be in terms of it being a live service multiplayer game, where you are in this living, breathing world playing with your friends. If they take the Naughty Dog like narrative potential and infuse that in there, I do think that could be something special, and maybe that kicks something off in terms of where narrative can go in a game like that. But again, that's a long shot, right? Like like you said, these are really difficult to predict, and it's really hard to make something that people look back on years and years later and go, oh, damn, this changed everything.
Changed the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask you watching live on twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames and of course youtube.com/kindoffunnygames to go to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and tell us what we screw up as we screw it up, so we can set the record straight for everybody watching later on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames and listening on podcast services around the globe. Today, Mikey O is our only correction and says IO's Bond title was announced November 19th, 2020. I would have gotten that so wrong. He's got a Gamatsu article here.
No way.
So before Hitman 3 came out?
Like a year before Hitman 3.
A couple months. Hitman 3 was January that year.
No, 2020. Like 2021 was Hitman 3. No, wait. I mean, I got
he
that
just
wrong.
said November 2020. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So a couple months before Hitman 3 came out.
No, Hitman 3 came out in 2021.
Yeah, 2020. Yes. Yeah.
January 2021. Maybe
Can you
February.
say all those words again for me, please?
Hitman 3 came out on January 20th, 2021.
Uh-huh.
Barrett said that they announced this 007 game a few months before that, which is true. November 19th,
okay.
2020.
Gotcha. I totally heard a different thing. That's my bad.
It happens to everybody. Don't worry about it. Thank you very much for your correction. And then all of us having to correct each other on whatever the hell I just got said. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, this has been Kind of Funny Games Daily. Each and every weekday on a variety of platforms, we run you through the nerdy video game news you need to know about. If you like that, be part of the show at kindoffunny.com/KFGD. Support the show at patreon.com/kindoffunny, where you can watch us record the Gamescast live today, where we'll be doing our category awards for games of the year. Not the game of the year. The game of the year, next week, it's live, Monday, 10 a.m. Don't miss it.
Dying Light 2-1.
Dying Light 2-1, apparently. But the way he says it makes me know it didn't win, which sucks. You know what I mean?
I mean,
You put it on your list? You put it on your list? You put it on your
do you really want to know?
Yeah,
really
well,
want to know?
Don't tell
I'll tell you off air. I'll tell you off air.
Okay.
And just because I say one game, maybe it's on the top 10.
You know, don't. We all remember that final boss battle sucked.
Yeah.
All right, don't even do it to me. Don't even make me do it. Of course, you right said the right. Correct when we're wrong and do the thing. Patreon. Get it later. YouTube.com/kindoffunnygames. Get it on podcast services around the globe. No matter where you get the show, please like, subscribe, share, leave a review if you are an audio listener. Put the stars on your Spotify. Leave a little Apple iTunes review. It helps us out quite a bit in getting the show to new people. The rest of your week looks like this. Tomorrow, it's Blessing and me. Thursday, Blessing and Tim. Friday, Tim and Blessing. If you are watching live right now after this, it's The Dark Pictures, The Devil in Me with Mike, Nick, and Andy. If you're not watching live on one of the live platforms, of course, you can get that later. YouTube.com/kindoffunnygames and watch them hang out and have fun. For now, until next time, it's been our pleasure to serve you.